He's a winner. He's got a new contract extension. Head coach Johnny Jones. Coach Jones, how are you, sir?
Doing great, Chris, and yourself?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for joining me. First, let's talk about the good news. You signed a new contract. Your thoughts on that? And what is it through 2029?
Yes, no, I'm just really excited and glad the president and the board and our VP of athletics, Coach Granger, agreed and liked the direction of the program and given us time to continue to push forward as we grow and hopefully do bigger and better things. We've been fortunate to get to the tournament and graduating the young men here in the program. Some great things have happened, but we feel like we've got more to do and have some unfinished business that we would like to continue to get to.
Well, I'll ask you right there, Coach. What is some of that unfinished business that you want to get to?
Well, obviously getting to the tournament that's been excellent for us. Been able to get there, but with the landscape the way that it is now, we feel as though if we can continue recruiting at a certain level, our hope is to certainly get in the tournament and hopefully be that Florida Atlantic at some point that can continue to push through the tournament or and have those big games and possibly get to the second round or the second weekend of the NCAA tournament and hopefully farther. But that's our goal. We've been certainly in the play-in game. We've been fortunate enough to win that a couple of years, and we unfortunately lost one of those games. We've had extended play in the CIT, getting to the Final Four one of the years, and that's certainly been fun. But I think that's really prepared us for hopefully getting in and getting our breakthrough in the NCAA tournament to be able to get to a second weekend or farther. But that's our hope, that's our goal, and that's certainly something that motivates us every day that we're sitting in the office talking about recruiting in preparation and building continuing to build this team that our community, our university, and everyone else can be proud of.
Coach, how long have you been at TSU?
I was about to start my seventh season, and it seems like yesterday coming in, and Dr. McClellan being here as the athletic director at the time, having me come in and getting started here in the program. And what an exciting year we had. Wind up winning 24 games that year, the most in the history of the program. And then getting, unfortunately, COVID hit, and then the next year getting into the NCAA tournament and some great things happening here for the program. But it's about to start our seventh season. And again, it's always exciting. Thrilled to be here. Love the administration. Love the obviously the people that are here from the coaches, the professors, and everyone just been on board. So as a basketball coach, having an opportunity to be around these young men every day and the wonderful staff that I've been able to assemble over the years, it's been good. Couldn't be happier. And it's one of those deals. Every day you wake up and you're excited about heading to your job. It's a good day, and there hadn't been a day that I woke up that wasn't excited about getting here to put our shoulder to the grind and push to move forward and see if some great things can happen and how we can continue to build here at Texas Southern University.
You touched on your staff. You had one of your assistants leave for a head coaching job. So just ask some thoughts to talk about that.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate over the years, and I guess we're fortunate, unfortunate, however you want to see it, because we always feel like when you've got great people in the program, sometimes you want to hold on to them. But I've been an assistant coach before, and my job is to try to help guys continue to elevate and to be able to move and have an opportunity to do great things. And I've had guys since I've been here leave and take other jobs as assistant coaches in other leagues at the end of the day. And it's been great for us. And the latest being Coach Stacy Hollowell getting the head coaching job at UNO. And it's one of those things that's very difficult to do. Sometime leaving from an assistant spot, getting a head coaching job is difficult. And people tell you it depends. I don't care what league you're in at the end of the day. we're very fortunate to have someone be taken from our system to head a program there, one in the Southland Conference and the University of New Orleans, a good school, a good program. And Coach Hollowell did an excellent job for us the year that he was with us. But we've had other guys in our program that other programs have had an opportunity to try to come in and get after and try to get them to leave. And the guys have stayed because they're excited about where they are and what they're doing and the growth in the program. And other guys have had an opportunity to leave and explore and do things and have success too in other programs. But it says a lot about the university and the state of the program when people feel as though that the program is in such great shape, that great things are happening, that they will come in and our guys are attractive to them. A couple of things don't happen. People don't generally hire from bad programs with people losing because that's kind of consistent. We've been fortunate enough to win and have enough success that our guys are been really attractive to other programs out there. And they've gone on to have success in those places. And we're hoping the same thing happen with Coach Hollowell as well. But it's not many programs at our level have guys leave from assistant spot. It's hard enough sometimes for head coaches to leave and get jobs, but to have an assistant to be able to pick from your program, I think speaks volumes of Texas Southern University and administration and our department as well.
Have you had a chance to replace them on staff yet?
What we looking to do, and just waiting with an administration, we haven't filled all of our positions, but certainly have a pretty good idea in the direction that we're going to go with their program here. We feel like we've got great guys that are on our staff that have done a tremendous job over the years and have put in their time and put in a lot of energy. And so we'll have one spot that we probably would need to fill, but we're probably going to move guys around within our program and staff who are extremely familiar with it as they continue to grow and for us to do some great things. And we couldn't be more excited really with the group that we have here assembled now. We always feel like we've got a very, very strong group of guys that's working with our players and putting them in the best possible position to be successful at the end of the day. And we feel like we'll do that again and should have something out there surely in the next week or so.
It's always a positive, I think, to be able to promote within.
Yeah, no, it's healthy. Mm-hmm. I think it's healthy for the program, and I think that's one of the reasons guys don't mind coming in at certain levels because they can see that guys are being promoted outside of the program, so to speak, and taking other jobs and getting assistant jobs, whether they go into it and leaving here at one position and then maybe going to be the top assistant in another program in another conference, and at the same time seeing that people who are in the program are being promoted and elevated as well. It gives people a lot of motivation that are sitting out there looking for opportunities, because we do certainly get a lot of calls at the end of the year when we have some movement in our staff of people wanting to come in, join us, really be a part of really what we're doing, because they see those opportunities out there, not necessarily to come here and leave, but to be a part of something positive, effective, and really a part of the winning that is going on with the tradition here at Texas Southern.
And once again, I'm speaking with Johnny Jones, head coach at TSU men's basketball. Texas Southern, some of y'all on the East Coast think TSU is Tennessee State. That's y'all over there. It's Texas Southern here in this area. Coach Jones, you also made some signings last few days, so just talk about them. And one of them, a 6'11" young man.
Yep, I tell you, we couldn't be more excited about Uno. He's going to be a tremendous force for us. He's there at Nichols State now, and he's actually from Harlem, New York. And 6'11", 225, and he's one of those guys that have a lot to his game. I think our fans were really going to be excited about his addition because he's one of those guys that's extremely skilled, play out on the floor, can defend around the rim, can run, good passer, good ball handler really for his size, and can stretch the defense with his ability to shoot. He bring an addition to something that we didn't have a year ago or last couple of years, and he have great size. Sometimes we've had big guys, but they probably didn't have the girth or the size to move around, push inside a little bit and defend there in the post, or the size to move guys around from playing on the block area. And he brings that added dimension for a team that's going to be an excitement for us. And I think our fans are going to be pleasantly surprised and excited about his addition really to our team.
And then I know about also Jaylin Jackson-Posey.
Yeah, Jaylin, I tell you, he's at New Mexico State right now. Jaylin's going to be a tremendous addition to our team. I think he's going to be fun for our fans to actually watch. He's more of a combo guard style. He's about 6'2". Jaylin probably about close to probably 200 pounds, big guard.
Okay.
Can post, can shoot. At one point, he was shooting roughly around 50% from the three-point line last year, tailed off maybe a little bit toward the end of the year for him, but and a top defender. And one of the things he talked about throughout the process and while we were recruiting him was how much he loved playing defense. And with our team, been one of the top, maybe the top defensive team in the conference last year, area that we're looking not only be in the top, but continue to improve on that. I think his added dimension to our team, his talent, his desire, how he's motivated on the floor to be a great defender, certainly going to help us, and it's going to help our basketball team. So that's an area that we're excited about, not only his ability to score, knock down threes, and he can get to the rim, get to the basket. He can get to the free throw line as well because he's a high foul count guy because people foul him because of his aggressiveness of going to the goal. So that's certainly another added dimension to our team that's going to be a huge plus, especially with the guys that we're losing from a year ago, and especially Jonathan Signee, who got into the lane, who got fouled, who was creative off the bounce. We feel like Jackson-Posey is going to bring that added dimension for us as well.
How many open spots do you still have for this coming?
Right now, we have another guy we signed is Alex Anderson as well, and Alex is probably about 6'5", 6'6". He was at Incarnate Word last year, averaged about 11 points. That's where Jonathan Signee went to school as well. Big kid, obviously he's from Memphis. Went to Alabama State 4 years at South Alabama, and he's about 6'5", 6'6", and he's one of those guys can play all over the floor from the 1 to the 4, actually, because of his size and his strength. He's a big guard, can really get in the paint, love playing in the paint area as well, and going to be a good defender for us as well. But with signing those 3 guys, we have 2, I think, scholarships still available to us right now that we can utilize, and so we've got to make sure in using those, it's going to probably be for the best available guy that's out there for us, not any particular position, so to speak. We feel like with the guys that we have returning from last year, because we're looking to see if we got Kenny Hunter back, Grayson Carter, Josh Farmer, who nobody saw last year, is about 6'9", 6'10", who transferred from UT San Antonio from his practices last year. If we can add that into what we're doing this year, he's going to be a pleasant surprise too. And that gives us great length with Grayson Carter at 6'10", probably about 250. You've got Josh Farmer out there at 6'10", and then you talk about Uno, 6'11", that's coming in next year. That's going to be great size for us. And you add Kenny Hunter to that bunch along with Xavier Ball, who played sparingly last year because of injuries. That's going to be great size for us. It's probably going to be our biggest team that we've had across the board since we've been here. So that's going to give us a chance to go out and probably sign the best available players that's going to be able to fit into our team, that's going to give us a chance to make that push, and is going to give us great depth because of the number of guys that we have returning from last year, certainly lost a great crew with PJ Henry and Jonathan Cece and Deion Stroud. Those were three guys that did a lot for us
Right.
throughout the year last year and in making plays, especially Deion down the stretch and PJ throughout. And everybody just fell in love with Jonathan Cece last year and becoming a kind of a household name because of his ability to score in a lot of different ways. So our recruiting, we certainly had to put ourselves in position to where we were mindful of guys and filling those spots. And we feel like our coaches have done a great job of identifying guys and doing that.
Coach, the three players you signed, did you have relationships with their head coaches at their previous stops, or what's your process in the portal to go after young men who meet your needs for your team?
I'll tell you, it's good to have been around for a little while and understand and knowing coaches and coaches knowing the success that we've had with transfers and not only programs and colleges, but be it AAU coaches or high school coaches that are out there and families. Know the success that we've had with guys coming in and from programs and fitting into what we're doing and succeeding and having success in our program. And so we are one of those schools that are looked to for those various reasons. And one of the big recruiting tools that we use is making sure that we're able to show kids, young men that have transferred from be it Power 5 schools or wherever, that have come in here and done extremely well, either making all conference team or newcomer of the year or going on to play overseas and doing exceptionally well and doing some things financially to secure their family's needs and those things. So, and that's what kids are looking for. And what we like to try to make sure that we point to them, this is a great chance and you've got a chance opportunity. And we make sure that they understand that they can get there from here. That's usually one of the big questions that guys have. If I come there, but you're in the city of Houston, 7th largest media market in the country. I mean, it's a lot of great things that are happening here in the exposure. So you're not going to be hit. You come here, you play the right way. We play on TV. We get national games. There are great things that happen for us. We're generally in the top of our league. We're playing in a conference tournament at a high level, winning, getting to the NCAA tournament. So if you come here and do the things that you're capable of doing, the exposure and everything's going to be there, and nobody's going to hide you. And some great things can be in store for you at the end of the day. So those are a lot of selling points that we have. But you're certainly right. The makeup of things now, the transfer portal, people being able to come in and play right away, and the grad students, those are things that we have to identify. And my staff have done an excellent job of trying to identify those guys and reaching out to them because of their connections and relationships and things that they have as well, and being able to bring guys to the table. It's been good. But at the same time, some of the guys that we've had that have been assistant coaches here that are no longer here, that are out there, that are coaching guys, and guys have success, they're able to turn around and tell them, I know a great place for you. Things didn't work out here for you, but I know someone that may have the type of system that you may be able to fit into well. And when they have those relationships, it's trust, and they're guided the right way, we wind up with some of those guys as well. So we've been fortunate to win a lot of those battles, and it's all about those relationships at the end of the day with the recruiting with people. And, obviously with his NIL, we have to be as savvy and as tough as we possibly can through these wars that we're in at the end of the day because of the landscape is forever changing. And it's almost like playing football, but they keep moving the goalposts on us, and it's hard for us to keep up. But we're mindful that that's something that we've got to do if we want to stay as competitive as we need to in this business.
As one of the top HBCUs, how much is NIL an issue? Are you running into it when you are talking to prospective players?
Well, it's certainly a problem. It's an issue. It's not minute. It's not small. It's big at the end of the day. And it's something that we have to continue to try to navigate at the end of the day. But we're in pursuit to try to make sure that we can put ourselves in a positive position at the end of the day where we can be competitive at the level that we need to be. But again, it's an ongoing process at the end of the day for us. And obviously, just like everything else, when you talk about facilities and amenities and everything that are at other places and the level, if you're speaking of a high major conferences and those things, and then it kind of trickles down at the end of the day of what they have to their exposure in terms of utilizing it for their NIL reasons at the end of the day. And those things that we have to manage and maneuver around and have an opportunity to compete with. So it's an ongoing process at the end of the day for us, but it is a huge deal, and it's a big pit that we have to make sure we fill, and to be able to compete at a certain level is something that we've got to do. But it's something we're looking forward to. We've got to put our shoulder. Hey, the NCAA came out and the rules are changed. The game has changed. We certainly want to play. We want to be in it. And all we want to know is the rules. And now we're in it. Now we've got to just try and make sure that we find out the best way to go about being able to do that, to put our young men in the best possible position and keep this program in a great positive light at the end of the day. And I don't think that's something that's going away anytime soon. And so we've got to make sure that we're in the midst of it, in the mix of it. And we know that there are folks out there in this great city of Houston that will step up and help us be a player in this new format that they have for NCAA basketball.
You touched on defense, valuing defense being important to you. For folks who have not seen TSU play, describe your style of play.
Well, we love to put a lot of pressure on you. We can extend our defense. We can play full court in pressing, generally in creating havoc to try to create turnovers to get easy scoring opportunities versus our opponent. Our kids love playing that way. A lot of times we can play in a half court setting as well. So we can mix it up. We're not one dimensional. We'll play in half court at times as well. Defensively, we like to play tough man-to-man defense and trying to, again, create havoc with our against versus our opponent to try to run. And we're a running basketball team, be it off of steals, rebounds, made shots. We're going to get the ball and push it up the floor as quick as possible because we want to score as quick as possible. And at the same time, at the end of the day, we feel like that creates havoc and problems for our opponent. But at the end of the day, it helps our team because it forces us to play more players. The faster you play, the harder you play on both ends of the floor, more guys are going to get opportunities. So that helps us get into our bench, utilize our depth that we have. And that's why we like to try to recruit to have a number of players that we can go to. And we feel like if our bench is stronger than our opponent's bench, it's going to give us a chance at the end of the day to be able to win. So defensively is something we certainly like to hold our hat on. And we were with the top team in our league last year on the defensive end, field goal percentages, holding people down point-wise, and at the same time in terms of ability to score from the three-point line. And that's something we want to continue to improve on this coming season.
Coach, how close are you to finalizing your non-conference schedule?
Long way. It's difficult, and that's one of the things that we do on a daily here now in trying to make sure that we can get our schedule finalized. It's one of the things we take a lot of pride in is when we play non-conference games, regardless of who it is against our Power 5 schools, we try to put our best foot forward. And over the years, we've been able to beat top 20 programs. Florida been the latest, but we've been able to go to Baylor and win there, Texas A&M and win. And we've gone out to Oregon. Obviously they were top 20 team at the time in the win. So when those kind of things happen, it makes it a little bit more difficult to schedule during non-conference because, one, with the landscape the way that it is now and the transfer market, it's difficult for teams to know exactly who you have coming in, going to be a part of your program, who they have going out, who's not going to be a part of theirs. So we're not one of the schools that they try to schedule early. The later they can schedule, they want to try and go down the list and see if they can get other teams to schedule. And then our schedule usually come together a little bit later, possibly in the summer when things are dwindling down and teams are finishing up their schedule, and they've got to play teams. But the problem we have, and it's not necessarily a problem, the teams we wind up getting are top tier teams that are in the top of their conference, and it's not in the middle of their conference or toward the bottom. So it's always a big time challenge for us. At the end of the day, it's nothing that we certainly back away from. We look forward to the challenge and look forward to playing. But even those top teams look and wait and see who else they can possibly schedule prior to opening up and giving us contracts and having an opportunity to play against them. So it makes it difficult at the end of the day, but it's certainly something we'll get done. One of the good things we're trying to do, though, is play more home games, something that we haven't been able to do in the past, so our fans can become more familiar with their team prior to conference play. Generally, back home after January 1st, which makes it extremely difficult for our fans to really get excited about what we're doing, and that's their first time seeing us. Now we're trying to get games in prior to that, developing home and homes schedules with some of our opponents that are out there that our fan base will be familiar with, and have them be able to come out and watch our guys this season early prior to conference play. And we're going to start trying to do that going forward. And we think that's going to even help our fan base, which was really good last year. I mean, we're coming out and looking at all the people in the stands last year was exciting for us. We want to make sure that we can continue to build on that, but we don't want to continue waiting until conference play to allow that to happen. We want to give them a taste early, give them a chance to see their team, the makeup of our team, and as we build going forward. And so about time conference come around, they're really excited. Instead of just those first few games, they're really excited about us getting back home.
I'm almost done with you, Coach Jones. Always appreciate you taking time to talk to me. Will TSU be in the the Chris Paul HBCU Challenge again in Vegas?
No. I think we're gonna take a break from the tournament out there, which was magnificent. I thought it was great. It was really good for us. We were able to get 2 good games out there. They did an outstanding job of really putting on a great event, bringing 4 teams out to that event, and you get to play 2 games in a great venue out there. They do a great job of taking care of you, feeding you for those 2 days, and it's like teams that or probably from conferences or where you have an opportunity to compete, where you wouldn't really get those games normally because nobody's coming to your home to play. You don't have the wherewithal of bringing those teams in for bye games. So you meet on a neutral court like that, and you have an opportunity to play those 2 games. And it's been great for us over the last 2 years. Certainly something I would look to do in the future because I think it's an excellent event. We'll take a break from it this year, see about our scheduling, and see again, trying to get more home games. And instead of going out there, it may give us an opportunity to play a couple of those games, at least 1 game at home, and trying to get these home and home series started with other programs and teams that are out there.
All right, Johnny Jones, head coach, Texas Southern men's basketball. Anything you want to say in closing?
No, just looking forward to the season. Appreciate all the support that the Tiger fans have given us, and we promise you that we're going to have a fun-filled team this year, and one that you're going to be extremely proud of, and looking forward to seeing you this coming season. And go Tigers.
Thank you, Coach. You take care.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. My pleasure.